Moon Alexander, and I'm talking today about brats. How none of us as parents want to raise a brat. No one wants to have an entitled child or a spoilt child. So, how do we achieve this? Because it can so easily happen, when or if your child has ever been rude or they've ever been ungrateful or they've kind of overreacted apparently to some small thing that you think to yourself, and I've certainly been there. I've certainly had this thought, gosh, am I raising a brat? Which was the last thing you ever wanted. And so, how do we navigate this? Because I think maybe we could describe it as, an attitude that you might notice in your child sometimes, that the world is there to serve their needs. But we as conscious parents know that we're meant to be meeting their needs. Because when we meet their needs, children are truly happy and they actually behave well as well, and we can have a happy family. So it is really important to meet their needs, but how do we not give the impression that the world is there to serve their needs? It's an interesting question. And there are a couple of areas I want to look at today that will help you gain the awareness you need to navigate this dance. Because I think I've stepped over the line in different ways in the course of my life as a parent. And it's not an easy one, but I'm going to give you two leading thoughts. Okay, so the first one is this: allow your child to experience disappointment. Because this is really important. Life has disappointments in it. When we allow our children to experience disappointment and don't feel the need to fix it straight away, then they can get the message that disappointment is normal, and they won't feel that it's a problem so much. So I'm going to give you some examples. So say one of your children has a birthday, and you know that what the other children or the other child in the family is going to be disappointed, and some parents have been tempted to give the other child like a compensation present or something. Now, this isn't a practice I would encourage, because you're not allowing your child to experience disappointment. It could be other things. It could be things like, allowing them to wait for things as a whole, things that they want, for it to be okay if they don't get exactly what they want. Now, I'm not saying don't be generous with your children, because it's wonderful to be able to meet our children's wants as well as their needs. For them to get the actual thing that they want, and for us to model generosity, that's really important. And it's really, it's a wonderful thing if we can do it, and don't want to hold you back. But just make sure that there are times when they have to wait, or when they don't get exactly the trainers that they want, so that disappointment becomes something that they learn to negotiate through their childhood. And the important thing here is, it's not just about things, getting things. It's also about our inner okayness with that. For example, I'm going to tell you a story that came up recently with a client. So though she has a 10-year-old daughter who was, doing a drawing, and it was all going very well. And then suddenly something went wrong, and this little girl scrunched up her paper and threw it across the room. Now, for that mom, that was a moment where she felt she needed to go and fix things, help her child not to have such a reaction to a little bit of her drawing going wrong, not to be so upset about it. So she tried to talk her out of it and tell her, the drawing was great and that was only a little bit, and anyway, she could do another one. And she generally put a lot of energy into trying to fix it. And this is something that comes up a lot for us parents. And I can feel it coming up in me when things go wrong for my son. But we need to be careful at this point that we're not, again, communicating that disappointment isn't okay. Because when we launch in as Mr. or Mrs. Fix It, we can so easily communicate. This isn't okay. It isn't okay that you were upset about that. It isn't okay. I have to make things better. So what I modeled, this is what I said to this mum. I said, look, say if you're writing something, okay, and she's having her little wobbly over there. So this is what I would do. I would stop writing. I would look over to her, and I would say, "Oh, it sounds like it's really important for you to get that right. Is it? Yeah, yeah, I get that. It's important for me too sometimes." And then I told her to get on with whatever she's doing, because she's then communicating what happened over there with your wobbly is okay, it's normal. And it takes all the energy out of the wobbly. Do you see what I mean? Okay, I hope that's really clear. It's a kind of, you're with your child, you're supporting them with empathy, but from a grounded place, with that teensiest bit of separation. It's not a cold separation, it's not a withdrawing, but it's an acknowledgement that it's theirs to deal with our support, and it's not ours to fix. Okay, so I hope that's clear. And if it's not, or you have any comments or questions, do post below. And the second area I'd like to look at is about you and your life. Have you actually taken back your life since you became a parent? Because in the early years, it's so easy to, and it's necessary, in fact, for our lives to be totally taken over by our children. And they really need that. They really need us to be there totally for them. And it's natural that we go into sacrifice and sacrifice our needs for their needs. But as children go on and up, it's really important that at a certain moment we take back our life. And again, it's not about withdrawing from them, but it's about saying, my life is important too. I am important too, because we are the significant other in our children's life. And so if we don't give them that message, who will? That other people are important. And we are the other to them. So we need to give them that message. And sometimes they won't like it, if you go to a yoga class in the evening, when those kinds of things are happening, or you go away for a weekend, or you go out with a girlfriend, or whatever it is. They may not like it, but it doesn't mean that we're pulling away energetically. We can still be really connected with them. We can still support them through their disappointment. But it's a really important message to give to children, that we have a life too. And I don't want to call it self-care, because if I call it self-care, you're probably going to think, oh no, that's something I should do more of, and let's get away from the shoulds. No, I invite you to claim your sacred life and then share it with your child. Remember some of the things that you used to love doing before children, or when you were a child, and bring them into your life and share that beautiful sacred life with your child. And this will help them realize that other people are important, and that the world isn't just there to serve them. So yeah, and also you'll be in a better place to meet those deep needs that are so important to meet in childhood, so that they can show up as their best selves and you have a happy family. So I hope this has been helpful in highlighting two really significant areas for you to pay attention to, so that your child doesn't become a brat, so that none of our children become brats or entitled or any of those things. And if you're feeling a bit worried, what can be difficult in this area is if we're feeling a bit worried about a child, maybe a little bit disconnected, feeling maybe we're not meeting those needs. So I have something really beautiful that will help you there. It's my Reset Your Relationship with Your Child meditation. And I was talking to a mum about this the other day. And she said to me, I do it every now and again, and it works like a charm every time. And it will help you connect with your child so that you can develop this feeling of trust in their resilience, because we need to feel connected to children in order to be able to trust them, in order to be able to take our life back and also allow them to experience these little mini disappointments I was talking about earlier. So that meditation is available for you to download on unaalexander.co.uk/reset. And I recommend going there now and downloading it so you can do it tonight when your child is asleep. And you may well find that you wake up tomorrow to a different child. It's happened to me when I've done this meditation and many others, as you'll see on the page. So lots of love to you and hope this was helpful. Do give it a heart if you think it's an important message for parents to receive, so that Facebook shows it to more people. So lots of love. Bye.